What is up, all of you awesome, amazing people on YouTube? The Old Coot here, coming at you with another exciting video. Today, what I'm going to be making is crispy chicken. This happens to be the Bibigo brand from Costco. What I love about this is that you can split it up into two portions, and you get two sauce packets in each bag, which is kind of nice. So that's the reason for that, so you can split it up into two. Anyways, the highlight of today's video is I'm going to be showing off these Divitis Home Fusion Pasta Salad Bowl set of 4. This happens to be the blue color. If you saw the video just prior to this one, you kind of saw me running through the whole, the care and the attention and the time that it takes to make these bowls. As you can see here, Divitis Fusion Dinnerware is made of porcelain, which is basically higher chip resistance and durability than ceramic dinnerware, which is awesome. The information about the company is here, as you can see if you want to go ahead and grab a screenshot. Here's the back, so you can check that out and you get the idea. There's their social media and all that good stuff. And then you also do get like a nice little thank you card. And also you get like, if you scan that QR code, you basically get like a free iced teaspoon, which is kind of nice. So anyways, with that being said, the bowls look amazing. I've gone ahead and washed them with warm water and some soap, just to kind of get them ready so I can go ahead and serve up this beautiful dish that we're about to make. So if you've been following along in the other playlist that I've been making, basically how to turn a stainless steel pan into a wok seasoned pan, we're now at this point, right? We've gone ahead and done the whole avocado, right, high temp oil thing to kind of get some coloring started and good seasoning going. Then I went ahead and fried up some beef fat or pork belly, right? Just the fat to try to get more of that coating going. Then what I did was I did an egg, right? A 5-egg omelet that we did in there. Then we did some deep frying of potatoes, right? To get that going. And every time I'm using this pan, the darker and darker the seasoning gets, the more non-stick it gets. You get the idea. So now with this video, it's time to do some frying of the proteins, basically, to make some crispy chicken. So what I've gotten there is about 1/4 inch or so of Mazola corn oil. I find the corn oil works the best for this process of doing the deep frying. If you have the money and you want to spend it and you want an even more healthier option, you can fry in avocado oil. The key tips or takeaways from this whole process is try to keep your heat below medium. So somewhere between medium and low, obviously. And then I've got mine marked off here as like a good frying point. But you want to try to stay below medium. That way your oil doesn't overcook, if that makes any sense. Or you're not bringing your oil up to a high temperature to where it's going to start breaking down and become, basically bad for you. So anyways, around medium is fine. Usually if I'm doing potatoes on a normal basis, this is after the pan has been seasoned, I can use that oil maybe 1 or 2 times. But when you do a protein, like if you're going to be frying up like chicken cutlets or chicken fried steak or whatever the case may be, or fried fish or whatever, try to toss your oil after every use because it will become rancid, and also it's just better to use fresher, cleaner oil. In the process of seasoning the pan, right, to get the stainless steel pan to become non-stick and to become more like a wok seasoned pan where it's going to develop this beautiful coating, right, this nice dark brown that's eventually going to turn black and get all nice and non-sticky. Like that's what I'm aiming for there, is I kind of want it to turn as dark as it can possibly get. But when you're doing that, it's important to change the oil with every use. So after every use, try to change out your oil just so that you get fresh oil in there, a fresh clean surface to absorb, right, the fresher oil. You'll get a better season. So anyways, with that being said, this has been warming up. I do want to try to let it warm up for a couple of minutes at least, just to get the oil hot enough to be able to accept the proteins. That helps with the non-stick ability, and it also helps with keeping your seasoning seasoned in a timely fashion. Time is on your side. So it is a process. It will take a while, but you kind of get the idea. So with that being said, while the oil is warming up, right, while you got your pan going and you're warming up and all that good stuff, I'm just going to do a little hand test here. Nowhere near ready yet, but it will be there soon. Important to have all your utensils that you're going to need on hand. It's always a good idea to have a good pair of scissors on hand to cut up any larger pieces if you need to do that. Also, a good pair of like silicone tongs is important, right, just to be able to move stuff around. Also, a good slotted spoon is worth its weight in gold. That way you can pick stuff up and move it around. Also to transfer it from my pan into this beautiful dinnerware that I'm going to be serving it in. And you kind of get the idea. And then, you know, just in general, just try to keep as tidy as you can as you go. You know, try to move things out of the way as you don't need them, you know, etc. But the avocado oil, I'm going to go ahead and put back. And you kind of get the idea here. This was for something else. But anyways, we're going to do a little tester. I think we should be almost there. It's been about 2 or 3 minutes now. So I'm going to just do like a little tester piece, right? And I've got a little tester piece here. I'm just going to put that in and see how it fries. Not quite yet. It's almost there. It's almost there. But what I want to hear is a nice little sizzle, and I want to get a nice little, you know, fry going. So that was a good example of how not ready my oil is. And it does take time. It is a process. So like I said, I'm just keeping my heat between medium and low, kind of right in that ballpark. Just to make sure I get a little, you know, good fry action going. Anyways, talking more about these Divitis bowls in the meantime. Really nice quality, really nice color to them. As I mentioned in the last video, in the previous video to this one, you do get some variation on these with each bowl, right? Because each one is handcrafted. So you're going to get some, you know, obviously different colors, different shades, different patterns. See how this one has kind of like more of like a yin yang thing almost going on there. And then this one on this side, let's go ahead and take a look at this one. This one has more of like a true swirl going on. So each one is different and each set is different. So as you buy different sets of, you know, if you decide to buy like service for 8 people or you want 8 bowls, right? Buy 2 sets, you'll get different variations, so to speak, within each, just to kind of, you know, bring you there. So anyways, let's go back to our frying. I can smell, like I've been doing this a long time, I can smell it. I think my oil is just about ready. So I'm going to take another little piece here and just kind of like a tester piece and just kind of put it in. That's what I'm looking for. So one tip or trick I'll tell everybody is if you don't want to grab it and just throw it in directly, what you can do is you can use something like a ladle or a spoon. You know, basically you would put your chicken into the ladle and then put it in, which I could do. I'm just going to use my hands because I've been doing this for a while. I'm kind of used to it. But basically just grab a little bit at a time and put them in and let them do their thing. And then what I'm going to do is the next batch I'm actually going to put right on top of the other ones just to reduce a little bit of splatter. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. There's my next one. And then here's my next one. So I'm placing them on top of the previous ones just so that then as I shake, now I can get even distribution. The other tip or trick is try not to overcrowd the pan. I think I've got just enough in here to fit so that there's a good amount of spacing right in the pan between all the fried bits and pieces. And some of these excess, like if you notice, I'm leaving behind some of the shaken off or fallen breadcrumbs here just so that I don't burn those, because obviously the bigger pieces are going to take longer, the smaller pieces are going to take less time. But I'm going to go ahead and discard that and get the idea. So anyways, I'm just going to give the pan a little shake here. And as you can see, very, very non-stick to begin with. From the egg video that we did and from the frying of the potatoes video we did, you obviously saw how non-stick it was already. So now this is just kind of adding to that coating, that seasoning, you know, building up of all that good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this in the sink to be washed. And with that in mind, I'm going to bring this bowl over, which is going to be my serving bowl for these. And one thing I will tell everybody is you can use, obviously you want to use paper towels, kind of get off some of the excess oil if you'd like. So I'm going to line this with 2 paper towels. And I kind of like to crisscross them, you know, just like that, and kind of like leave one cut off to the side. So that way as I move this around, as I put my chicken in there as it cooks, it kind of has more surface area to come in contact the towel to the fried chicken. That way you get more of that excess oil off. But Mazola works great. It's a great oil to cook with. I think for, you know, deep frying, deep fat frying, that kind of idea. This to me just has the best crispiness. That is probably, you know, according to them, a little bit heart healthier than like some of the other ones or whatever. And like I said, if you have the money and you want to spend it, go ahead and use avocado oil to fry in. Very high temp smoke point cooking oil, so you can definitely cook with that and know that it's not going to break down as quickly. One downside to this whole process of doing the frying pan, very similar to a wok, is that you can almost never, ever use olive oil, especially during the first 20 cycles of cooking. So like bring the pan up to temperature, cook in it, bring the pan back down to room temperature, wash it with warm water, no soap, only warm water. The downside is that you cannot use olive oil, because if you put olive oil in there, your food will stick and you have to start all over again. You have to nuke the pan, start from the beginning, re-season it all over again. But anyways, cooking with a high smoke point oil like Mazola, avocado oil, rice bran oil, grapeseed oil, you get the idea. Those seem to work the best. So now is when I want to have my kitchen utensils on hand. A good set of, like, these are OXO Good Grip silicone tipped tongs. Basically is a good idea, and basically I just want to give these like a little stir. So I'm not quite, or a little turn, sorry. I'm not quite deep frying, I'm just frying, basically. Frying, and maybe, whatever the correct terminology is, to kind of just get a nice coating on either side, right? And just kind of do that whole thing where I'm doing this and I'm just turning one by one. Let's get some ASMR action so you can actually hear what the frying sounds like. Kind of sounds like pouring rain. I think that's maybe why I like to fry, not all the time, but every once in a while. It just kind of reminds me of rain pouring. And there we go. Okay, so I got that going on. So anyways, with that being said, I will come back with another video after this one to show everybody how, when I pulled it out of the pan, and how it looks, and also put the sauce in our bowl and then mix everything up, and highlight again the Divitis home pasta bowls. We'll show you all that in the next video. I don't want to bore you with just frying and frying and frying. Anyways, hit that like button down there below. Also in the description section, I will put a link to the kitchen products that I use. Also in the home furnishing sections, I'll put a link to the bowls, obviously, that we're using today, and highlighting those. And check out that like button. If you can, hit that subscribe button as well, and I will catch you all on the next exciting video review.